Alright guys, I'm putting in a new Powermaster Performance made in the USA battery, or sorry, not a battery, starter for a 6.5 diesel. I've got two cores right here. One with the, I forgot what this thing's called, but this was my old one and I just swapped it over to this one because I thought it was better, but I just put it on my truck, and I don't know if I had a ground wire issue or something wasn't right, but it wasn't giving me quite enough juice even with new batteries to start. So I'm going to start fresh new batteries and now a new starter as well. If I still have wiring issues, I know it won't be one of these two things. But let's talk about the differences between the two. In theory, this is supposed to have a bunch more torque. However, if you look at the size comparison, they look like they're going to be about the same size. This one does stick further out front, you know, just this front section. It should be easier with the smaller area to get it up where it needs to be with that one. However, I mean, they have to be the same size to have this match the holes. So in a way, you know, holes to the bracket are the same. And if you want to get an AC Delco, a factory one, there's your number, 191-36221. Great decision, obviously, to stay AC Delco if you want to do that. I'm planning to keep this Suburban for a while, so I wanted to get a nice unit on there. One thing I noted is that the wiring mounts are different. The only one that's the same is actually this ground terminal. Should be the same to meet that brace. Interesting to note that they put ground terminal. So on this particular starter, you have to have that front brace, or you have to have a wire, you know, going from here and grounding somewhere. Because a lot of the people, what happens with these 6.5 starters is they don't use that front brace, and it can cause one of these bolts to break, or even part of the block to break, and obviously you don't want that. But on this particular one, the Powermaster, it sounds like it's necessary for function. So not necessary on this one, necessary on this one. But so let's talk about, here's the difference. Here's the two. So normally you've got your two right here, right in the front. One, your main battery right there, and then your little activator cable right there. This one actually has them at the bottom. Look at that, facing down. So this would be like this, facing down towards the frame area, kinda. You got your signal wire on the side, and this one way at the bottom. The nice thing is you should be able to access this, and your two base bolts potentially from the bottom, from underside, easily from the underside, making starter changes quicker and faster. Which, if you have a fleet of 6.5s, which you probably don't anymore because it's 2021, but if you did, that would be significantly nicer for maintenance and whatnot. But let's go look at the actual truck. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So I'm doing it right now with the fender in. If you have the fender out, it makes it a lot easier. You might as well, if you got time, take it out, and so you can look at your other grounds, and you can look at you know, just clean up those couple ground wires that are right here, and obviously notice if anything else is bad. But let's get under there and take a look. Alright, so this is what you're looking at from underneath. There's going to be your starter. You'll be able to see your flywheel, or your flex plate. Your little signal wire is going to be right here. Okay, and as you can see, mine's got a little bit of chafing through. At this point, probably a good idea for me to go ahead and replace that. Looks like someone already did once, like as you can see there. I assume that's a crimped line area, but I suppose I could redo the thing. For right now, since it was cranking just fine, I think I'm just going to clean this up and reuse it. And if I'm not getting proper voltage, it'll be easy to test from here and out, because the wire is going to be down here somewhere versus out in front. And also I got my cable. Now I have an aftermarket PT Wiring Solutions cable with a bend, a 90-degree bend. And on this new one, it certainly looks like it's going to come down and be nicer to be flat. So I'm going to have to see what... Once the starter's in, I might have to either flip this around or go out and buy a new cable that's just for this one right here. Or figure out a way to bend this flat. Which I'm not sure if it's meant to be bent anymore. Might be a permanent thing or designed to be 90. But also, here's that starter brace for you. Make sure this is in. You're going to want it loose initially, either loose or out, depending on what you know, whatever your preference is. I just have it loose, and once I get it up in the right area, I just wiggle this and put it on. I think since this is a new starter, the new design and much more open space in the front, I'm going to take it out for this go around. But this is the starter that you'll need, or the brace that you'll need for your truck. Not a bad idea to have like a lock washer or something right here just so it doesn't rattle out. But my only concern really right now is this 90. This is going to be interesting. We'll have to see how I can bend this to make it fit. So let's get the starter up in here. It just came straight out. I didn't really have to move anything. Slide it forward and down, and it had plenty of space to come. So let me get this back in. I'm not going to film that. One, it's way too dark for a GoPro to really see anything without a light directly on where you're looking at. And two, I only have two hands. So let me get this back in there, and we'll see if I have something else to say. So I got the new starter in, mostly. As you can see here, tons of space now in the front for that brace. It's 11 millimeter for that front one, and I believe it's a 12 to the block itself. Alright, looking from underneath, it actually makes servicing it much easier. You got your main battery positive right there, you got your signal wire right there. Super easy, much easier to do work on too, if for whatever reason that little wire gets cut. You got your two bolts as normal. I actually let's see if I can get this. So I see right through there. If you get a light in the right spot, I just light underneath by the kind of control arm. I can look up and I can stick my hand around the frame one way and one hand up through the bottom, and I can get my socket and ratchet and whatever on those couple bolts right there. So the brace is on. It actually gives you more space from the side to get to that brace too. But I'm really liking all the newfound space, or the surface space for these wires. So I like it. Hopefully it starts good. And alright guys, check that out. That's a running Suburban. That old Powermaster fired up. Had been sitting since 2019. Hadn't been started or even tried to start the past over 2 years now. And it took about 4 turns of the key. So, you know, turn it, hold it for 3 seconds or so. Do it about 4 times and then fire it up. Yes. Dude, if you guys like this video, stay tuned for more videos. I got a ton of parts I'm putting on this old Suburban, and it's going to be about to be my main daily driver once I get it all done. But I'm just happy that it's been sitting so long and it runs. So I guess now I need to finally go title it. I haven't registered it or anything since I bought it, so probably should go do that. But thanks for watching this. Stay tuned for a lot more 6.5 content.